Steelers WR Calvin Austin 3 unsure of future with team this season. This week, the Pittsburgh Steelers are preparing to take on the Cleveland Browns, but are uncertain as to who will be lining up at wide receiver. One player who won't be on the field this Sunday is wide receiver Calvin Austin 3, who is currently dealing with a shoulder injury. Austin addressed the issue after the team's workout on Monday and indicated that he isn't sure if he could find himself on injured/reserve this season. Austin has been praised all off-season for his work ethic and potential now that he was healthy, but his big comeback has been delayed thanks to this shoulder injury. Through the first 3 games of the season, Austin had only 8 receptions, but 2 of those were touchdowns. This week, the Steelers take on the Cleveland Browns, and if their win over the Minnesota Vikings is any indication, the offensive game plan will be built around not needing a number 2 wide receiver. Austin went down with 2 catches on 2 targets and was the only receiver on the team to get a target aside from DK Metcalf. This article originally appeared on Steelers Wire. Steelers WR Calvin Austin 3 unsure of future with team this season. Calvin Austin 3's story has always been one of perseverance. The Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver, a 2022 fourth-round pick out of Memphis, entered the league as one of the smallest but fastest players in his draft class. His 4.32-second 40-yard dash promised big play potential, and his college tape was filled with explosive touchdowns and highlight reel moments that screamed hidden gem. But fast forward to the midpoint of the 2025 NFL season, and Austin finds himself in a much different place, one filled with uncertainty, introspection, and the harsh realities of the NFL business. The Steelers' wide receiver room has been evolving rapidly. With the arrival of Jerry Jeudy via trade and George Pickens continuing to develop into the team's go-to target, Austin's role has become less defined. He's seen limited snaps, sporadic targets, and an offense that no longer seems designed to feature his speed. Once viewed as the team's secret weapon, Austin now finds himself fighting for opportunities just to stay relevant in the Steelers' offensive rotation. In a recent interview, Austin didn't hide his frustration but handled it with quiet professionalism. "You want to help the team, you want to make plays," he said. "But sometimes, things don't go the way you expect. All I can do is keep working, keep showing I can be an asset." His words were measured, but behind them was a sense of reality that many young players eventually face. Sometimes effort and potential just aren't enough to guarantee a future. The Steelers have a history of turning over their receiving core every few years, letting new names emerge while others fade away. For Austin, that reality feels uncomfortably close. A promising start that never fully took off. When Austin first suited up for Pittsburgh, expectations were modest but hopeful. He was viewed as the deep threat who could stretch defenses and open up space underneath for other receivers. In flashes, he did just that, most notably his 72-yard touchdown against the Raiders in 2023, a play that reminded everyone why he was drafted. But consistency never followed. Part of that was out of his control. Injuries have derailed key moments in his young career. His entire rookie season was lost to a foot injury, and even when healthy, offensive instability around him, rotating quarterbacks, play-calling changes, and a struggling offensive line made it difficult for any receiver to find rhythm. By 2025, the Steelers had shifted focus to building a more balanced attack. They added veterans like Jeudy, relied on Pickens as a true number 1, and restructured their offensive schemes to emphasize quick reads and controlled passing. That shift, while effective in stretches, hasn't done much for players like Austin, whose speed and explosiveness thrive on vertical plays. Now, with limited targets and mounting competition, Austin's role has become one of uncertainty. He's seen more snaps on special teams than on offense in recent weeks, never a good sign for a player once hyped as a key weapon. Inside the locker room, quiet support, growing pressure. Teammates and coaches still speak highly of Austin's work ethic. Head coach Mike Tomlin, known for his blunt honesty, praised the receiver's effort during a press conference. "Calvin's a competitor. He comes ready to work every day," Tomlin said. "He's a guy who's still growing in this league. Sometimes it's about patience and staying ready for your moment." But even Tomlin's tone suggested that Austin's future might not be guaranteed. The NFL doesn't slow down for anyone, not even the hardest worker in the room. With trade rumors swirling and practice squad elevations happening weekly, Austin knows that every rep could be an audition, whether for the Steelers or another team watching from afar. Inside the locker room, there's empathy. Players understand how thin the line is between starting on Sunday and sitting out altogether. But there's also realism. The Steelers' wide receiver depth is growing, and Austin's path to meaningful playing time looks narrower each week. "It's tough, man," said one unnamed teammate. "He's talented, no question. But this league moves fast. You blink, and your role changes." The business side of football. Austin's uncertain status isn't just about performance, it's about timing and opportunity. The Steelers' front office has made it clear they're willing to shuffle pieces if it helps the team win now. With the trade deadline approaching, there's been quiet speculation that Austin could be a trade chip, especially for teams seeking a young, affordable speed receiver. For Austin, that's both a risk and an opportunity. A trade could mean a fresh start, a chance to play in an offense better suited to his strengths. But it also means uprooting, learning a new system mid-season, and facing the challenge of proving himself all over again. That's the paradox of life for many NFL role players. Every chance at a new beginning comes with the possibility of an ending. A future still unwritten. Despite the uncertainty, Austin isn't ready to give up. After practice, he's often seen working with the quarterbacks, running extra routes, and studying film late into the night. He's vocal about his belief in his own ability, even as the situation around him shifts. "I know what I bring," Austin said. "Speed, energy, effort. You can't control everything, but you can control how you respond. That's what I'm focused on." It's that attitude that's kept him in the mix this long. The Steelers value mental toughness, and Austin has shown plenty of it. Whether he remains with Pittsburgh or finds himself wearing a new jersey by season's end, one thing is certain: he'll be ready to make an impact wherever he lands. The bigger picture. Calvin Austin III's story reflects something bigger than one player's struggle for playing time. It's the story of countless young athletes navigating the unforgiving business of the NFL. For every star receiver making headlines, there are dozens of players like Austin, talented, driven, and teetering on the edge of opportunity and obscurity. The NFL is full of what-ifs. What if Austin hadn't been injured his rookie year? What if he'd landed in a system that featured more deep shots? What if the Steelers' offensive identity had developed differently? But in football, as in life, what if rarely matters. What matters is what comes next.